Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Just Where I am playing Final Fantasy XIV. Last episode we finished off the Blacksmith questline, and then we're going to go and begin, and probably finish off the Armorer questline. Of Heavensward, of course. Lynn, the very armor I was hoping to see. Have you a moment or two to spare? It's about Blanster. Ever since he lost that contest, he's been keeping his distance from the forge. Then one day he simply appears as if none had happened, and starts banging out a breastplate on one of the anvils. He covers the entire suit, then mumbles something to the effect of "understand the true nature of armor." When I asked what it was on about, the daft old sod says he intends to don his own work, then go looking for battle in the wilds. Now Blanster is a big lad, and he couldn't fight his way out of a fishing, way out of a fishing net. I tried to talk him out of it, of course, but we can imagine how that ended. Which brings me to your part in this, Lynn. I suspect he'd be more willing to lend an ear to someone whom he is not so inclined to despise. You'll find him loitering in his usual spots, if you have a mind to convince the stubborn Narok. Oh, look who it is. Listen, lass, so no one else has sent you. Just keep walking your own path and I'll walk mine. I've been doing a lot of thinking these past months, you see, and I finally found my answer. I'll learn the secrets of armor craft, not in the flames of the forge, but in the heat of battle. And if I die in the doing of it, I'll go to my grave with no regrets. Don't try to stop me, Lynn, and you can tell that forge master of yours to keep her twitching nose out of my damn business and all. This music is just gonna pop in and out every single time I walk through here. So the old buzzard wouldn't listen to you either. Seems an excessive self-reflection has sent his thoughts down an odd track. You're no stranger to combat, Lynn. Mayhap you are still the right lass for the job. I want you to follow Blanster, quietly, mind, and see that he doesn't get himself killed. Assuming he sticks to his ridiculous plan, you'll find him out near the ice. Grant us eyes. Calls, or some say cosm. A hunter is a hunter, even in a dream. Good old Bloodborne. Also, if you can hear anything in the background, it is raining, and it is quite loud in my room when it rains usually, so... Are you injured? 'Twas fortunate we happened by. You were more like to harm yourself with that flailing than slay your intended opponent. I must say, however, I do admire your devotion to your craft. Mayhap we shall call on you the next time when we have need of an armorer. Safe travels, my friend. I thought, yeah, I was a dead man. Got myself in my finest armor, but I could hardly move, let alone fight. Who'd have thought a rat could give me so much grief? A blatant rat! Ugh, mean little bugger he was. As I stared at the death in its furry face, I had myself an epiphany. I've got to get back to the forge, and then I'll be ready to try again. What are you doing out here anyways? Well, I'll leave you to your business. I can hobble back to the limbs on my own. Thank you very much. Bow. Such a good song, actually. Well, I'm glad to hear the old bastard survived this foolishness. This time, from the sounds of it, though, he doesn't intend to stop there. I know you have more productive things to do than mind a full-grown man, but can I ask you to stay near to Blanster for a while? If you can't reach him with words, then mayhap you can guide him with your craft. Speak with the man and offer to aid him in his work. With his work, and while you're teaching by example, you may even learn something new for yourself. I do remember Blonsteer stuff being just in Limsa still. Or like being, like the level 60 stuff. Being in here. Oh, you weren't the most heroic of battles, but even a brief scuffle like that made me realize something. I ain't never spared much thought for the folk that are wearing me armor. Huh? First you tried to stop me, and now you want to help me. Make up your bloody mind, lass. Alright, I'll take you on, but I can't promise as you'll have much to do. I've searched the depths of my craftsman's soul and come out with a whole new view of things. From now on, I'll be putting myself in my customer's boots before I forge a piece. I've mapped my course, and it's a straight run from here to greatness. You're still willing to swing that hammer of yours, Lynn? For me, Lynn? Whatever. Truth is, I've gotten myself into a bit of a bind. Do you recall them venturers would save me from the unholy rat? Well, they've commissioned me to craft a piece for him. As much as I'm trying to understand their needs, the request has got me baffled as a nugget-brained novice. Maybe you should talk to this Benathair bloke and hear the details directly. He should still be waiting over by the wench. The wench. Thou art truly a wench. Greetings, you are Master of Blonsteer's assistant then? Oh, that's right, me assistant, though she should hear the job direct. Why does this confuse me so much? I thought oh, there we go. I'm not reading it. My god, my mind. Help me. Thought she should hear the job direct from the customer's mouth. Very well. We mean to challenge a creature of significant might and seek to seize every advantage. To that end, I would commission a quality piece of head protection for our monk, Sasapiku here. Sasapiku the snake, they call me. I gotta strike swift and deadly. I can't be wearing no heavy helmets. Cramps me style, you know. 'Twas a trial to even convince him to wear body armor, thus I must ask that you craft a helm sturdy enough to afford protection, but also light enough that Sasapiku scarcely remembers he's wearing it. You see what I mean, Lynn? An impossible request. If I have to consider your client's needs has barely passed your lips and already you cry defeat. What do you want, Nonza? If you've come to feed on me misery like some self-righteous leech, then you can bloody well bugger off. I came because I can't countenance you throwing a commission back in a customer's face after you've arbitrarily labelled it impossible. I'd wager Lynn here could forge a piece to meet those specifications. When it comes to crafting light and serviceable armor, both leather workers and carpenters have a wealth of experience. I suggest you head to Gridania and seek the advice of their respective guildmasters. What would they bloody know? They don't even work with the same materials. You're wasting your time, Lynn. But I'll let you make up your own mind. Is that the only way he can ask for help? Proud, insufferable old outgoat. Show him how a proper artisan handles such a request, Lynn. It would seem the job is now yours, Mr. Lynn, was it? I'm excited to see the results of your labor. Okay. So apparently we're going all around the world to get some information. That didn't really work out as well as I hoped. Hello, love. A metal helm? I thought I detected a stench of the forge about you, Lynn. I must admit to feeling somewhat betrayed. But I shall not be petty as to deny you your answers, Lynn, child. As you well know, before one even puts salt to wood, one must first consider which variety of lumber best suits the properties of the piece one wishes to craft. The same can likely be said of armor craft. Amongst the many metals available, sure, there's one that retains its strength even when beaten sufficiently thin to meet your needs. That man knows all about beating stuff. You know, because his name is Beaten. Anyway. Oh, Beaten. Bétain, maybe? Bétain? If you could want to try and say it in French, maybe? I don't know. I should probably know French, considering a lot of things. However, I don't. I have like a slight idea of like how stuff should possibly be pronounced, but it's not perfect. Branching out into other disciplines then. If you'll recall my Jiva patterns, you already have the answer to your questions. Always crafted an eye towards minimal waste. This approach also respects the life that was taken for the material, by making the most of every strip and square. In this case, however, you may simply need to take care that you have not added unnecessary weight in your quest for sturdiness. Good old Jiva. I feel like I'm in freaking... What's the place called? Forside? In Earthbound? Well, what did our artisan colleagues have to say? So in other words, keep it simple and choose a light, sturdy metal. Not exactly revolutionary ideas, but certainly fine points to keep in mind. If we're talking minimalism, then our best option is probably a mask of some kind. As for the material, titanium would be the strongest for its weight. Finally, the overall design should complement the swift striking style of your client. Hammer out the piece and deliver it to Benethair. Right, I will be right back once I have this thing. Have no fear, because Lynn is yet again here. Mrs. Lynn, it's good to see you. Have you brought the armor we requested? Oh, it didn't even need to be high quality? No, whatever. Oh, he actually crafted something for him? Let's say this impossible piece of yours then. Is this titanium? It's so thin, but you've shaped the mass so that the arcs and curves reinforce the weak points. It's bloody genius. I love it. I can jump and spin and barely feel the weight at all. I'm most grateful, Mrs. Lynn. Now we needn't fear any stray spike or claw sizing up in our dear monk's face. Mayhap we shall call upon your services again in the future. Now, I reckoned you wasn't a fool's errand, talking to those other guild masters, but look at what you accomplished. Since my eyes ain't been opened as wide as I thought. Alright, gotta run all the way back to the forge. I guess that would be the one annoying thing in this place, huh? Like with this particular questline. Needing to run, as they say, forward and back, and then forward and back. What'd you want? More work, is it? Well, I took on another job for the Conjurer and his mates. Something for the Lancer this time. Did my best at it. Forged and reforged until I thought I had a piece the client would be pleased with. But she took one look at me work and turned her bloody nose up at it. Not pretty enough, she says. So I told them they can take their fancy Lancer and toss her into the damn sea. But they are still lurking lurking near the wench, but I doubt even you could satisfy that over particular pig-sticking lass of his. Oh, okay. I like this guy. I like reading his dialogue. Good soup. Right. Mrs. Lynn, I had hoped you would be along. Your colleague appears to have abandoned our commission in a fit of pique, and left poor Barbarella here bereft of her promised armor. Oh, he made me some armor alright, but the style was absolutely dreadful. How can I possibly perform legendary deeds looking like an oversized kettle? Imagine the portraits they would paint. Imagine the sculptures. As you can see, she is quite particular about her appearance. Thus, I would task you with crafting her cuirass, that is, her a cuirass that is as eye-catching as it is unyielding. Mayhap Forgemaster Kananza would deign to offer her experienced opinion, as she did the last time. We're gonna run back to the fort. And then after this, I gotta run back to like a market board and see about getting the materials or the freaking thing itself. And I gotta run back over to the freaking people. Alright. So, raving for fashionable and functional. That takes us into the realm of goldsmiths and weavers. It rests that they will die and call upon the wisdom of their guild masters. Why? I'm fine. Actually, I'm not, but whatever. That was weird. Just there, like a police car just doing, like, putting their sign on, like, may have tried to get the attention of someone. Someone doing something stupid. Lynn, thinking of adding precious metals to your endeavors in armorcraft. Are you? Well, the Sultan once wore ceremonial plate that featured the most extravagant embellishments, but such delicate adornments would not long survive the harsh demands of combat. What you might consider then is decorating the parts of your armor that are less likely to be struck, the edges and hollows, for example. At least that is what I would do. Yeet. Sad fish. Then you seek to apply the sensibilities of weaving to your efforts in armorcraft. How strange. I recently spoke on a similar subject to a rugged Rogan fellow. He seemed a tad embarrassed to be asking, but listened with an earnest enthusiasm nonetheless. I fear I become rather passionate in my instructions, and lectured overlong on the merits of form versus function. But to return to your query, I would ask that you consider the use of color in your design, and not simply the choice of hue. Even the same shade can have a drastically different impact when enhanced with a lustrous and glossy sheen. I heard that laugh. Somewhere in the crowd. Well, what did the artisans of Vilda have to say? I see, then I would suggest a darker hue for the main surface, burnished until it gleams. Decorate the edges with a brighter metal. Rose gold should do nicely to provide an eye-catching contrast. Again, titanium is a fine choice for durability and strength. This was for Benethere's Lancer companion, yes? Then forge a cuirass fit for a queen, and your client shall soon be maiming her enemies in style. Right, titanium cuirass up maiming. I will be right back. Alright, I have the armor. How's Barbarolla's armor coming along? Don't tell me you forged some with a spear-wielding she-demon actually approves of. Hold still a moment. It's so simple, but the rose gold gives it that hint of extravagance. You've outdone yourself, Lynn. Aye, and I especially love the colors. This might be the most beautiful cuirass I've ever owned. My thanks, Mrs. Lynn. Aside from the armor's obvious beauty, I can see it has been carefully crafted to withstand the rigors of combat. Now that you have addressed my concerns with Barbarella, that only leaves... No. Is this why you've called me here? To spend more of our coin on gear we don't need? One Maga, you should be the first in line when it comes time to replace our equipment. Our lives depend on your ability to engage the foe face to face. You need new armor. The suit I have serves me just fine. You should look to your own abilities, healer. If you weren't so sluggish with your spells, then maybe we wouldn't have to rely on expensive armor to save our hides. Sluggish? How many times have I saved you from the brink of death? It is your seeming fondness for injury that forces me to consult with armorers in the first place. You think I enjoy being wounded? How many times have I risked my life to save yours? These are the thanks I can expect, and you can try fighting without me. Walk away then. We shall find a replacement soon enough. The way they argue now. You'd not think they'd been friends since childhood. Looks like Avengers have their own problems, eh? But I'd have to say, finding the right armor to craft their ridiculous request ain't one of them. Your work was masterful. I tried, Lynn. I really did. Even begged that Weaver bloke in Uldar to teach me something about design. But it seems I've lost more to learn. I've a lot more to learn before I become the sort of artisan who understands his customers' needs. Hernan's the one I should really be talking to. As Forge Master, she's had years of experience in crafting to meet a client's wishes. If anyone will know what I gotta improve, it'll be her. Oh, God's beard, I never thought that a day'd come when I'd fall to my knees to beg for that harpy's help. But it's time I've changed my ways. Jesus, these quests are long. Comparatively to like the other stuff, these ones are long. In any case, the ones that I've done. I heard that Super Bowl lied. The audacity. Well then, I've had another commission from that conjurer bloke, but I've got my hands full learning lessons from Hanaza. You think you can take the job from me? You'll find Benethair and his crew at their usual spot near the Drowning Winch. Last night, I had an epiphany. Alright, friend, old pal, old guy, old dude. My apologies for that unpleasant scene you were forced to witness, Mrs. Lynn. As matters stand, we have had little luck in recruiting a new gladiator since my falling out with one Maga. I have thus decided to have a shield made to offer as a bonus to potential applicants, and was hoping to have you forge it. I am, however, entirely unsure as to what manner of shield would be suitable. But, and considering the heated words we exchanged, I cannot very well ask the advice of the only gladiator with whom I am acquainted. Would you be willing to speak with the one Maga, and research the matter of the shield in my stead? It would seem he left on a journey to Ishgard, ostensibly to rendezvous with some secret lover. Knowing one Maga, however, this lover was not but an excuse to put some distance between us. And it's likely forgotten that outsiders require permission to even set foot inside the city. I imagine you'll find him pacing before the gates of judgment, freezing in his decrepit old armor. I cannot believe they would deny me passage. This is a matter of holy adoration. I must be allowed to meet my goddess Helone. Ah, the armor from Limsa. Oh, what is this talk of shields? Forget your trade for a moment and answer me this. Are you able to enter Ishgard? You are, then would you be willing to complete my pilgrimage to St. Remat's Cathedral and pray before the statue of the Fury in my stead? Ah, my beloved Helone. Beseech her to watch over my companions, and then I shall share my thoughts on this shield business of yours. Okay. If I must. Slash pray. And man, this questline is like, I like it in like the storytelling way, and just like the fun little times of like, I really enjoy making gear and then like seeing the character that I made it for wear it. Something that I just really find quite satisfying. So I like this quest, but also I don't like the amount of like running around I have to do for this one. You've prayed before my beloved then, and my thanks. I take my devotion quite seriously, but I fear Benetheir and the others would mock me for it. Now, as for this ideal shield you seek to craft, I suppose that would change depending on the gladiator you asked, but most would appreciate one that didn't drag on their arm, as if it weighed tons. You're obviously familiar with titanium. The metal is light and strong, and I, for one, would be overjoyed to own a hoplon crafted of such material. I hope that answers your question. Right, so now I'm gonna need to get a titanium hoplon. I will be right back. Alright. I got the hoplon. Mrs. Lin, can I assume that your presence means that our new gladiator shield is ready? Right, so Non's done lecturing me. Let's have a look at this piece you've been working on. Oh, my eyes, I ain't never seen titanium polished so brightly before. It's like something out of a storybook. A superb job as always, Mrs. Lin. With such a shield as an incentive, we shall soon have applicants falling over themselves to join our party. I've posted a recruitment notice. Now we but have to wait. What are you doing here? Thought you were too good for new equipment. I came for the free hoplon, but I never would have bought it if I'd known who had posted the offer. I'll not accept aught from you. How must you be so stubborn? Is it so hard to accept a gift from a friend? It is, and I'll not take so much as an eel pie from you until you spent more coin on yourself. Even the armor I'm wearing now was bought with your purse, for some I could never have afforded. I truly appreciate all you have done for me, but for the love of the 12, you cannot continue to adventure in those rags. It is so filled with concern for the living of your companions that you fail to care for your own. But Maga, I never knew you felt that way. But how can I not put you before myself? After all, your role places you square in harm's way. And yet, speaking honestly with you scared me more. Forgive me, my friend. I would rejoin the party if you would have me. Of course we will. You're the only gladiator we trust. Now, I promise to consider my own protection, so will you please just take the shield? With pleasure. This hoplon is a masterpiece. What a surprise. How did Benetheir know that when Maga would come running for the shield, he'd always won it? And it's impossible that one Maga could have guessed who posted that recruitment notice in the first place. What are the odds? Aye, and what are the odds that I'd get a more perfect chance to serve me customers? On Maga, I'll forge you some new armor, and it won't cost you a single gil. And I've got a weaver friend what'll sew you some fancy new conjurer garments for the price of the asking. You speak truly. Why, this would solve all our problems in one fell swoop. I'll not be too proud to accept your generous offer, Master Blondsteer. If you might forge me a set of armor to match this wonder shield, I'd be eternally grateful. You want it light and sturdy then? Right. I'll be back as soon as I'm done. Titanium plate makes me feel invulnerable. I cannot thank you enough. And his robes are the most luxurious I've ever worn. Thank you, Master Blondsteer. Bah, I was glad to help. All part of the service. Well, my friends, we are as ready as we'll ever be. Let us engage our terrible foe and show ourselves worthy of these gifts. I knew talking to Hinanza was the right choice. Under her tutelage, I've become a different man. It might even say as I've been reforged. The reforging of Blondsteer. Okay, game. Also, I leveled up from that. Well, the XP that I get from this is actually, I think, based on my level. Yeah, I got like 1,000,000 XP from that, so, yeah. That is intriguing, though, that, like, this is then based on, like, your level, and then, like, other things aren't. It's kind of weird. Ah, Lynn, did you hear? Our adventuring friend is back from their monster hunting. I said we go and give him a big ol' Minson welcome home. Hinanza should come along too, so she can see how well my armor held up. I'll fetch the Forge Master. Master, go on ahead of the wench if you like. Oh yeah. Is that like in 15 minutes? Yes it is. Okay. Apparently I've got 15 minutes, y'all. 15 minutes. And then I must needs attend to something else. What does 7 else happen to you lot? The creature. We barely escaped with our lives. I was too slow with my spells. No, I positioned myself poorly. Listen, if there was a problem with me armor, you can best tell me. Don't lie to me, lad. I need to know if me work's not up to scratch. You'll not hurt me precious feelings, I promise you. Aye, what's the armor? It's as light and strong as I could have wished for, but too tight around the shoulders. Couldn't swing my sword the way I wanted. Didn't think to adjust the plates for a gladiator's range of movement. So much for understanding my client's needs, eh? Lynn, I've got a new commission for you. Right now, me craft ain't good enough to forge the kind of equipment one Maga needs. But yours is. I'm asking you as a colleague and a customer to make him the finest armor your hammer can manage. But what have you done to deserve such kindness? You saved me life, remember? And maybe with the right armor, I can help save yours in return. You're a good man, Master Blaster. Blaster? Master Blaster. Master Blondsteer. Come, my friends. Let us ascend to Bulwark Hall and make preparations to meet our nemesis once more. I appreciate your help in this, lass, and just to make sure there's no mistake in this time, I'll be heading to the Gladiators Guild to ask what style of armor works best for him. This change in Blondsteer is unsettling. I much prefer it when he's spitting insults at me. In any case, the armor's design may not be the only factor worth considering here. I shall visit Ul'dah myself and speak with the miners concerning the recent excavation efforts. Meanwhile, you should join Blansteer at the Gladiators? The Gladiators Guild and assist him with his inquiries. Meet me at the Miners Guild when you have the answers you need. Ah, yes. Even more running around. Running around at the speed of... something. I was trying to be clever, but I couldn't think of anything. I'm getting hungry. Got bored of waiting, did you? I'd have been back now by now if these damn sword swingers had only stopped trading long enough to talk to me. I already tried asking the stern looking lass over there, but seems she don't like me. Disrespectful tongue. Like this, don't like me disrespectful tongue. There we go. I'll have a word with her, will you? Alright, so I'll see if I can get the attention of one of these other blokes. Right, putting our answers together, we're looking at a piece which is heavy on protecting the chest but allows the arms a full range of movement. Sounds like a Lorica to me. Which is exactly what I was thinking of after hearing of One Magus Travels. This is a long way to come to learn something I already know. The Miners Guild, is she? Well, let's see if the Forge Master had more luck than us. Run. Run, then. Run for your damned life. I have some good tidings for our miner friends. We had thought all sources of adamantite ore had been exhausted, but I'm told that that new seams were recently discovered in lands that were once part of the Alcan Empire. And with a supply of adamantite ore, we can resume production of adamantite, a metal much favored by the ancients. Not only is it incredibly resilient, it is also valued for its unique elasticity. No, if there's no give, then harder metals tend to tend towards cracking. Can you imagine a Lorca made out of that adamantite stuff? And that's what I call the ideal armor. There's me a mission for you, Lynn. Forge one Maga and adamantite Lorca. One what'll fend off even the most savage of blows. I'll leave you to it then. See you back in Limbs at last. Alright, I will go about acquiring this, so I will be back in a bit. Alright. Ah, there you are then. I've been itching to see this adamantite creation of yours. I've never seen the like, even a behemoth that have a hard time putting a scratch on that thing. The whole piece is so light. You'd never think it was made of metal at all. Aye, you've exceeded all my expectations. And while you've been busy forging this beauty, Ananza and me have been putting together a little surprise for the rest of the party. They even had me a weaver made stitch up a new hat for Benethair. Everything we had, we poured into these gifts. There'll be no complaints this time, Lynn. Here, you should be the one to bear the bear the pride of Emily. Head down to Bulwark Hall and hand it over to those ventures. The Forge Master and me will be right behind you. Bulwark Hall. I may as well. I may as bloody well. I ain't in the mood to walk anymore. My bloody feet. They're falling off. Greetings, Mrs. Lynn. You have brought gifts for all of us? Hardly feels like I'm wearing armor at all. Nothing to stop me springing and stinging. Now it's mine. I stripped the design down to its bare essentials for maximum mobility. This gorgeous helm leaves bare my best features. I can already picture myself weaving surfoids in a deadly dance. An epic tapestry waiting to be woven. I made that one. Took a lesson to 2 separate guild masters, but I finally forged somewhat you approved of. Yes, yes, I like this. Feel not the slightest resistance to my movement. That their masterpiece was forged by Lynn. The perfect design crafted from the perfect metal. If you lose to your quarry with that one on your back, don't bother coming back at all. Cannot thank you enough. Now I might concentrate on healing without thoughts of shabby equipment clouding my judgment. No more excuses, my fine companions. We certainly look the part of heroes, so let us prove that we are such in truth. Onwards. Never much been one for encouraging folk, but never knew I could feel this good. Getting beaten by you all them years ago was bad enough, but after losing the same contest to Lynn, in front of the Admiral no less, I lost my way as well. If those venturers hadn't saved me, I might never have found the path I'm on now. Thanks to them, I learned the value of listening to my clients, but more importantly, I had to listen to my colleagues. To me, armorcraft was something you mastered alone. At worst, a colleague was someone who would drag you down. At best, a rival to spur you along. I was always trying to distance myself. I see my mistake now. I see how I stunted my growth by shutting the knowledge and support of my fellow artisans. Lynn, Forge Master, you couldn't have given up on this bitter old Auroch. Wait, you could have given up on this bitter old Auroch, but you didn't. And for that, you have my deepest thanks. You pushed everyone away. From the greenest novice to the oldest veteran. And the last thing I expected was to have you ask me for help. Mayhap now we can work together to raise our craft to new heights. Now I have to learn your lessons. I reckon my work is better than it's ever been. I reckon I might even be good enough to challenge you to another contest. Ah, you've certainly come a long way. Wait, what was that about a contest? 3 rounds, winner takes all. I've got to get back to you from gotta get back to me forge and start crafting me some ingots. Let's see who's the best one now. Forge Master, go. Did we not just talk about this rival business? Well, a little friendly rivalry is good for the guild, and even a Forge Master should be kept on her toes. Do your worst, you old buzzard. I'll be ready for you. Camprito! So my friends, I hope you enjoyed this episode of just us playing Final Fantasy XIV. And next episode we are going to go and do the Goldsmith quest line of Heavensward. Goodbye.